Morning everyone. This is day one of a 6-day trip for me down the South Downs Way, and it's my first time camping by myself, and in fact, unless you count the time when I was 16, it's the first time camping at all. So I'm very excited, very apprehensive. My pack feels very heavy at the moment, but of course, as this is my first outing, then you can't go out and buy expensive gear. So I've got Van Gogh Nevis tent, which I think cost me about £70 or £80, and my sleeping bag and mat were about £20 each, so obviously they're not going to be the lightest. I think the next thing that's heaviest is my food, because I have no idea how much to take. So I'll be camping tonight in a farmer's field. There's no facilities apart from a tap, so this is a whole new thing for me. Like I say, I'm very excited, not nervous, but kind of a bit unsettled at the moment. So I've just left Winchester, and I know I'm going the right way because I know I have to cross the M3, and I can hear it getting louder and louder. So I'll catch up with you later. Bye, wish me luck. So I've ended up doing a bit of a stupid thing, really, a very stupid thing. I went off route. I mean, the reason I chose the South Downs Way, because the start of it is quite close to my home. I know the city where it starts, so it wasn't a big risk in that sense. And I wasn't complacent. It's just that I ended up following the South Downs Way cycle route instead of the walking route, which I thought would be sort of parallel or quite similar, and it doesn't seem they are. Anyway, lesson learned, and I've got this beautiful river Itchen, I think it is, that I'm walking along just to get back on route. I mean, I've only gone, I think, 3 kilometres off route, which is quite a lot when you're backpacking, I know, but like I say, it's all a big lesson for me to check more regularly and make sure I'm on the right track. The elusive M3. I know there's no reason to film it, but I'm just so happy to be here. So once I get over the other side, the real beautiful countryside should open up and the walk will begin. And the minute I'm over the M3, straight away it opens up into this. Oh, I'm so looking forward to this now. I've got to stop actually because my rucksack's squeaking and I need to put some trusty Vaseline on it. It's driving me crazy, and probably time for, this is probably a nice spot to have a drink and maybe a quick bite to eat. I've been thinking as I've been walking along today on this first day, I've learnt so much already. You may have think some's obvious when I tell you, but some of it I just ran out of time, which really is no excuse. So really, in top order, the first thing I would absolutely love is lighter kit. But of course that comes at an expense, and I'm just starting out, so you can't justify, you know, buying really expensive. It's really the main things like the stove, the sleeping bag and the tent of mine that are quite heavy. But anyway, I'm managing, it's okay. The second thing is I should have spent more time researching the map. Now, that's not because I went a little bit off trail earlier, it's really because I didn't think that when I got to Winchester there'd be so many different trails starting South Downs. Silly, I know, I mean, I suppose there will be, but I just expected one to be called South Downs Way and all the other cycle tracks or walking routes to be called something different. Now, another thing, and this is something I really intended to do before I left, but you know, ran out of time, is I would definitely fully pack my rucksack and go out from home for, I don't know, a 15k hike or something like that. And then I'd be absolutely sure of all the things I found out today. The main one of which you can probably hear is that really annoying squeaking, which I did get rid of for a while with some Vaseline, but it's come back, so I'm going to give it some serious treatment tonight. And also I've had to alter the arm straps a little and the hip belt, but not much. But if I'd have gone out from home before I embarked on this, I think I would have had it better set up, so that's another thing. One thing I did do though was I camped out in my back garden and the family locked me out so I couldn't get in to practice pitching the tent and, you know, all those different things. So yeah, I had some fairy lights in there at the time and a hot water bottle, so it was a bit of a luxury camping evening, which it's not going to be tonight. So yeah, so those are the things I've learned. So I hope they help you if you're thinking of maybe starting something like this. I mean, it's always great. I've learned so much from YouTube about what to do and what not to do. Obviously lots of the advice I've listened to, and a few of the bits I failed to do before I came on this trip. Another thing I'd probably do is maybe book a 2-day hike or something rather than this 6-day one I'm on now. But hey, it's all good. I'm enjoying myself on the way and learning like you wouldn't believe. Catch you later. Yeah, I was feeling very weary about an hour or so ago, so I thought, I know, I'll make my way to the pub and refresh there. Pub was closed, but that's fine. I sat in the grounds on the chairs and had some painkillers because I've got some chafing the base of my back from the rucksack, which has been bothering me. So I took some painkillers, finished the last of my water, made sure I knew the route, had yet another flapjack. I swear I can feel my rucksack getting lighter each time I eat one. I've put so much in these things. They've got things like marshmallows, chocolate chips, peanuts, nut butter, oats, oh, everything, I can't think, loads more stuff. Oh, loves dried fruit as well. So they're quite heavy, but they do keep you going. So I'm making my way now to final stop for the night, which is where I'll be camping in a farmer's field. And I think I've got about 5 kilometres to go. So I am out of water now because I couldn't top up at the pub, but that's okay for 5k. Yeah, it's been really interesting day. I've learnt a lot, like I said earlier, about what I would do better next time. But I do know that if I had lighter gear, I would be absolutely obsessed with doing this. It's really great fun. So if you're thinking of having a go, do it. But bear in mind the things I said earlier about maybe don't be as reckless as me and choose a shorter trip or something. As I said a minute ago, I'm on my way now to where I'm going to camp tonight, and I meant to say to you that if you want to see someone pitch a tent for only the second time in their life, then watch till the end of the video. It could work out, it might not. And this is what I found when I got to the farm. A lovely field for just me. Nice and green, nice and peaceful. Couldn't be better.
Morning. Well, what a lovely morning again. Oh look, I'm matching my tent. So you can just see the sun coming up over there behind the barn. This is my total mess of a sleeping area. I've just made some coffee here. Feeling great this morning. When I got here last night, I didn't stay. I went to bed about 8:30. I was just shattered. I intended making myself something to eat, but I was just too tired, so I just had some coffee. Great idea going to sleep, but I did. I fell asleep really quickly and had some more flapjack. Good job I brought that. I tell you, it's been a lifesaver. And and now it's morning, and let's get on with day 2. I'll put a list of all the gear I used in the description below. And I just feel really peaceful. It's really nice here. All the smell of the grass and the trees and coffee. So I'm just going to get packed up and find my way back to the trail in about half an hour's time, something like that.
Okay, looks like we've got a nice sheep encounter and then a nice slog up that hill. Yep, here we go. Quite heavy gate, that one. Make sure I get that back in. Hello. You look nice and shady under there. Well, just gorgeous track today that I'm following, but no but actually, it's just that I've decided I can do hills and the weight of the backpack, or the sun in my face and the weight of the backpack, but all three together seems to be just really racking up the intensity. But I'm hoping there's going to be a tea room in about a couple of miles, so I'll have a nice break there and fuel up. Another good lesson learned on the trail this morning. I've just come up a stinker of a hill and I really didn't want to stop. Not on the hill, I stopped every several paces to get my breath, but when I got to the top I didn't want to stop, and this is because I really hate taking my backpack off because I dread putting it back on again. So I try and, I've got water to drink, but I try not to stop until I get somewhere, where I can have a proper rest. But anyway, I got to the top of this hill and I felt so dizzy and sick, and I was just so hot that I thought, I'm going to have to do this. So I sat down, got half a litre of water out, put in a electrolyte tablet, and I sat there for about 15 minutes, and it was the best thing I could have done. Yes, I didn't look forward to putting the backpack back on again, but I feel enormously better with the water, the electrolyte and that little rest. So I've learnt that I should stop when it gets to the point I feel like it, and forget about putting the backpack on again, because I'm always going to feel better. Good lesson learnt. Also, I feel I ought to mention, so you know what's what. I'm not a complete novice at exercise. I didn't start this without any prior exercise experience. If you see any other videos on my channel, you'll see that I like to go sea swimming and I love running, and I've done lots of long day hikes. It's just that this is the first multi-day hiking and camping combined that I've ever done. So yes, I've got a first aid certificate, so I just thought I ought to mention that, because if you are thinking of going out on something like this, then you do need a base level of fitness before you start. So I've just arrived at my campsite for the night. This looks lovely, doesn't it? Nice and wooded. I don't think the pictures are in there. Ah, no, up here. So, again, another lovely day. I've been so lucky for the with the weather. Apart from the heat in the day, it's obviously you've got the upside that it's fantastic at night. What's this? Mini yurt. Oh, I wish. Is it in here? Apparently my spot is called U. So, oh, I'm in the wrong field. No, I think I go through to the bottom field. Let's see. Look at that amazing bench. Really nice. Isn't it a lovely campsite? Let's see, I think I'm through here. I think the one-man tents were through here. We'll soon find out. What do we think? That's the yurt. Shall we see if it's up? Olive yurt. Let's have a look at that. Oh, wow. Oh, that's nice. Not mine though. Still looking for you. We've got some tents here. I don't think I've got this right, do you? You know what I need to do? Check the map. Okay, I think I've got it. Oh, look. U plus mini yurt. That must be me. I must be in here. Oh, wow, how lovely. I think this is it.
And as always, when you pack up and leave, you leave absolutely no trace that you'd ever been there. And I know it might seem a little bit over the top, but I like to even ruffle up the grass, and I don't know, I just seem to get great satisfaction out of giving it a bit of a ruffle through with my fingers.
Good morning, it's day 3 of my South Downs Way walk. I just left the campsite, and as you can probably see, it's a lot cooler today, so that's making me very happy. The only thing is I got quite a big mileage to do today, so I wanted to leave about 7 a.m, but I didn't wake up till 7:40. It was just so peaceful on the campsite, and I was so snug and cosy in my tent. Anyway, so there was nothing to do but get out and get the coffee on. So I did that and thought, hey, I'm not going to rush this. If I get there late tonight, I get there late. But I really looking forward to tonight, because I've got a little log cabin as a treat. So I'll let you know what that's like when I get there. So the hills, today is about hills. Whoops. Yes, today is about hills. I've just stopped off and had fantastic breakfast. I had 2 drinks, sausage roll, ciabatta, and a big piece of cake that I ordered. And the guy said, "Oh, I see you're stocking up for the day." I was like, "No, this is just breakfast." On we go. I've been in this woodland for quite a while, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's so cool. There's just me, the breeze, and the lovely smell of the greenery. It makes me want to go foraging. Well, it's been an amazing day of views. I mean, stunning, spreading landscapes that just went on, and obviously with the beautiful weather, they look amazing. I've just come down from climbing Beacon Hill, and when I got to the top, I just flung my backpack on the ground, which landed like a rock, and then just flung myself down. I was just done in. It was really strenuous. Anyway, lovely views up there, gorgeous. Spoke to a few people who were as insane as me going up there, and now I'm really happy to be walking in this shaded woodland. Look how lovely this is. I've hardly seen anyone today, to be honest. I've always stopped to chat to people, but there's not many people out and about.
Now let's talk about another mistake I made on this trip, and that was that I listened to advice of someone I met yesterday, and I wasn't actually sure, it didn't sit right with me, I wasn't sure it was the right thing to do, but this morning I decided to take that advice, and it was the wrong thing to do. A chap I met said that I didn't need to carry 2 litres of water as I was every day because there were plenty of places to top up as I went along on the trail. I allowed myself to be persuaded by that, and today, this morning, I just took 1 litre of water, and as you can see by these pictures, I am weaving all over the place. I was incredibly thirsty towards the end of the day, and if it hadn't have been for handfuls, big luscious handfuls of blackberries lining the route, I really don't know how I'd have kept my mouth moist and how I'd have kept going. It really gave me a boost. So it's great to take people's advice, but always listen to your intuition.
So there's this gorgeous little shepherd's hut where I've just arrived for the night. That's not mine. I'm staying in here, which is lovely. I'm so tired, so I'm just going to go inside, take my stuff in. So, first time I've been in here. Nice sofa and, oh, a fridge. Oh, wonderful. Oh, milk yogurt juice. Oh, and croissant and a kettle and porridge. You'd think I hadn't eaten for ages, wouldn't you? Oh, it's lovely. What a lovely little cabin. It's nice and cool in here with the door open now. And then the shower block is over there. That sort of green building. How lovely. And look what's next to me. These little guys. Apparently they're orphans. Hi, little ones. I know what that noise is. That's you on there. Hi, little ones. Hello, sweetie. Yeah. So sadly it's time to leave my little log cabin behind now. I had a really nice stay there. I thought the lady running it had thought of some really nice extra touches. There was a shower block and toilet bit outside in like a porter cabin, but in there she'd put shampoo, conditioner, male and female specific deodorants, and what I thought was really nice was there was 2 dispensers. One had like a heavy duty body hand cream and the other was high factor sun lotion. I thought that was a really nice touch. And there was loads for breakfast in the fridge in the cabin and on the side, so yeah, great. I've got one focus today once I get to the top of this ridge. Amberley tea rooms. I've heard the cakes are amazing. So there's quite a breeze up here today, which is fantastic. You'd never guess, I know, listening to me now, but I'm in the shelter of this barn. If I come out here now, you can see how breezy it is. Really nice on top. I've just stopped. Guess what I've stopped for? Stopped to bring my washing in. It's the best thing. That's why I like to bring pegs. Sometimes they're not enough and you have to tie them on, but it's fine today. So washed out the shirt this morning and it's dry, so I thought, time to bring your washing in. And there's my destination nestled in the distance, the village of Amberley. Just a few kilometres to go now. Morning everyone. It's day 5 now and I'm cracking on to Stenning. I stayed at a B&B last night and the lady there has been amazing because the rest of my trip is kind of mostly hosteling and I don't need my tent, my sleeping bag and stove and a few other bits anymore. She's offered to, on my way back, so I'm getting the train from Eastbourne all the way back through home. If I just pop off the train, she said she'll meet me at the station and bring along all the stuff that I don't need to take with me anymore to lighten up the load. That is so nice of her, and I kept saying to her, she doesn't know what a difference it's made. This backpack just feels like a feather today. I mean, it's just made such a difference. I did bring too much, and I think I said that I'd already learnt that my backpack was too heavy, but you know, it's a learning process. But oh, that was just so sweet of her to offer to do that. I was going to find a post office so I could go along and package up my stuff and post it home, but because of the COVID thing, so many of the post offices are either closed or operating under a appointment only system, so it's not been that easy to find a way to post my stuff home. But problem sorted. Just to add a little bit to what I've just been saying about having brought too much with me. I didn't actually bring too much because every single thing I have brought I've used, apart from the essentials like first aid kit, cross fingers, and emergency blanket, things like that, which you have to take and you hope you're not going to have to use. But aside from that, I've used everything. It's just that the things I have are either too heavy or I've got too much of them. For example, a full tube of heavy moisturiser when really I should have put it into something much smaller, things like that. So yeah, the sort of items that I brought full size of, I should have really cut down. I know people cut their toothbrushes off and I haven't done that either, but yeah, so I think I could have reduced the weight, not by bringing less stuff, but making the stuff I brought along lighter. Hello, hi, yes, I've got a booking with you tomorrow night and I'm just calling to see if there'll be any food available on site, please. Yes. Yes, that's me, yep. Yep. Wait, did you say you can do pizza? What, a whole one? Well, this is the most interesting way to the co-op I've ever been. I hope you're right, Google. Morning, everyone. I got on the road late this morning because I thought it was important to take a bit of care over all the bits and pieces of blisters and chafing and things like that that I've got going on. So I dressed my shoulders and hips and back, bathed and dressed those, and then moved on to my feet and bathed and cleaned thoroughly, put some antiseptic ointment on my blisters, and then blister plasters and Sudocrem and socks, and it took me about 45 minutes to do all that, but I thought it was important because you have to try and grab these things when they happen, and I didn't manage to catch them. I've already got all these issues, but you can try and help and stop them from getting any worse. So it's quite late, but I'm enjoying myself and I'm feeling a lot better now. My feet are burning, but the pain that was there before has lessened. So let's, it's the small things. It's the small things that make the day great. Hello. You're lovely. An incident about an hour ago, and I want to tell you all about it because I think it's something that's really important to know. I'd been going for about 3 hours, I think, and there was, I was along the trail, along the South Downs Way trail. No people, no villages, no houses, no landmarks, couldn't see anything. But I was fine, I knew where I was, as in I knew I was on the trail, I knew I was following the route. And then 3 cyclists came behind me and came past me really fast. And just away ahead of me, the final cyclist hit something and flipped off his bike, went right up in the air and then hit the ground. Well, the 2 cyclists at the front didn't notice at first and they carried on. So I hurried forward and got to him as fast as I could. He was motionless on the ground, and the first thing I did, I checked he was breathing. Oh gosh, I was so relieved he was breathing. And then I remembered, and this is really important here for everyone, especially if you love going outdoors, I remembered what 3 words, and I had the app on my phone. People had told me how great it was if you need to work out your location. So I opened up what 3 words and worked out where I was. And then I thought, right, I've got the 3 words that I can now phone the ambulance and tell them our exact location. I mean, how else would I have done it? Anyway, by this time the first 2 cyclists had returned, and the guy on the floor had started to sit up, so it was all starting to look so much better. I think one of the other cyclists was his brother or something, so he was begging me not to phone the ambulance because he was absolutely fine. So I thought I'd hand over to him and let them deal with it. But I wanted to tell you about what 3 words because wow, what an incredible app. I mean, how else would I have got that information so quickly? I know we all have backup methods, and I could have got my map out and started pinpointing our location and then reeled off lists of numbers over the phone, but that takes more time, and I do think that numbers are more prone to error, especially when you're in a panic. And also 3 unusual words are easy to relay and also easier for the receiver to access, I think, anyway. And I also believe that the accuracy of what 3 words, I think, is to a really defined area. So, big fan. Managed to get out reasonably early this morning, and it's just me up here. It's very misty. I don't know if you can see any of the fields through the mist, and all the trees are kind of bent over, so it's obviously really windy up here, as you'd expect. What I can hear are the birds, and it's peaceful. And just like that, I'm not alone anymore. Wow. Don't know if I've got the nerve to do that. It does look lovely though. They look very serene, sitting there in those little bucket seats. So let's have a scan around while I stop for a breather. I'm making good progress towards Eastbourne. I've just come from that village down there, which is Alfriston, and climbed up. I don't know if you can see on camera the thin white path that goes through the field. So I climbed up that. But look at the day, how amazing it is. And now I'm going somewhere up there where that bird is. So let's head on up this hill, see what's around the corner. There's some weary feet for you. They've done nearly 100 miles. Proud of them. Looks like we might be getting near the top now, so I hope it opens up and shows us. Yep, it's opening up. So it looks like a bit further before we can see. Looks like we need to get just beyond those trees to the top there before we can see much else. I can see we're going to see things, but it does seem to be very misty over there. I can't wait to see the sea because that means I'm getting close. Can you just feel how hot it is today? It's hardly a puff of breeze in the air at all. It's amazing. I hope someone's got that ice cream ready for me in Eastbourne. That's the second thing I'm going to do. First thing I'm going to do is plunge into the sea. Better get going then. So after all the heat of the day, this is absolutely lovely to be looking at the scenery, but tucked away here in the canopy of the trees where it's lovely and cool. Really enjoying this now, just for a little bit of a change and to cool off a little bit. I've just looked at my app that I'm following. I've just looked at my distance and it looks like I've got 6 miles to go before I get to the end. So looks like we're at 94 out of 100. That sounds like a mark I always tried to achieve at school and never could. So we're getting there. And look at this lovely shaded environment I've got to walk in. I just hope this carries on at least for another mile. That would be lovely. Oh my goodness, I can't tell you how exciting it is to see that, my very first sight of the sea. And that's Eastbourne nestled down there, getting close to the end now. Thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing for future outdoor madness.